Hi everyone, my name is Aarti Selvan. I am the founder at Pause for Perspective, and I have with me Selvan, who is also the co-founder of Pause for Perspective. We are here today to introduce a workshop that we are going to be doing together. It's called Stepping into Our Hearts, a gentle creative exploration into emotional awareness by connecting with the earth and its healing potential. So we're here today to be able to explore a little bit of this conversation. I want to say a little bit about what the program entails, that you'll find this in the description of the program itself. And then we'll step into a conversation where the both of us will talk a little bit about the program itself from the different frames that we come from. So this workshop, it says, we speak about this workshop as a novel way of exploring our emotional awareness through creative visualization, energy psychology, and connecting with the earth and its healing potential. So with that, I want to sort of go into a conversation about the program itself. So, Dad, will you say a little bit about the program itself and what to expect?
Hi, I'm Selvan. A mentor and now an author. About this program, when you look at emotions, for example, there is a saying in Hindi also, dil se kaam karo ha, dimag se mat karo, and all that. And I am saying stepping into the heart. It is relevant to understand the context here. Stepping into the heart doesn't mean stepping down from the brain into the heart. Here the context is from the energy awareness context. The emotional mind, there are 3 levels of emotional mind. And that is depending on the identity. One set of emotions, when you have an identity of the individual, the personal emotions. And then when we have the identity of a community, or like I'm an Indian, that kind of belonging, then another set of emotions come to play. And that's from a different level. When you look at the energy awareness, it's from a different level of our energy body. And then there is another higher set of emotions that comes about when you look at the oneness of the universe, the one consciousness, and that's the spiritual emotions. So here the emotional mind, I would be referring to the emotional mind. Emotional mind is the mind, the lower mind, which deals with the individual emotions, because those are the emotions that we come across every day, and we would like to master those emotions and use them in our life. But stepping into the heart means the heart mind. Here the heart mind is the intuitive mind. Stepping up, being lighter now, stepping up from the logical mind, the analytical mind, into the heart mind, the intuitive mind, where the identity is with the community, the global community. And then from this awareness, look at the individual emotions, and then it looks different. This is what the course will take you through as an experience. Not as a, this is not going to be a information sharing or information giving, knowledge giving program. It would be a inner realization out of experience. I would guide you to look at some things, and out of that you will take away something. So that's the problem.
Cool. Will you say a little bit about what you mean by community sort of awareness or identity?
Okay, so I am talking from the emotions point of view. So the emotions that one feel from the emotional mind, where the individual is the identity, these emotions are anger, fear, sadness, shame, and happiness. Okay, of course, anger means along with it comes irritation, helplessness, impatience, that kind of. Sadness means depression, lethargy. Okay, and when you raise up to the heart mind, the intuitive mind, the emotions that you feel as global community is loving kindness, compassion, generosity, gratitude. So these are also emotions, but they are felt from a different place in the energy body. So that's the difference.
Okay. All right. So one of the things that I'm hearing is that the program will help us access these individual emotions that we feel on a daily basis, which can be anger, fear, sadness, shame, happiness, and be able to look at it, but also be able to access something that feels more expansive and global, things that we can feel for ourselves and people around us, that include loving kindness, compassion, generosity, and gratitude.
Yes.
Okay, all right. One of the things that I do want to reiterate, that like in having conversations with you, like we have been able to come up with a way of integrating expressive arts as well, movement, and some of the creative visualization practices. So the program will be structured in a way that will help us access this sort of stepping in to what you called like individual emotions, as well as stepping into something that feels more community and global based. All right. Will you know, this idea of thinking about something that we feel, such as anger, fear, sadness. You also said happiness, something that we feel inside of ourselves, and then being able to access something that is bigger. It seems almost like a big leap, no? Like, and I'm wondering, the 2.5 hour time that we have, what is your sense of, like, how do we move from such a place of feeling intense emotion like anger to something that feels like loving kindness and global?
Okay. So, loving kindness, compassion, gratitude, these are inherent core emotions with which we are born. Okay? So we don't have to acquire something or go somewhere to get it. We are just uncovering something that is covered it up, locked it up inside, opening it up, and it all comes together and gels, merges with the individual emotions also, raising the individual emotions to a higher level. For example, the aim is not to eliminate anger. Okay? The aim is to look at anger from a different perspective. Because anger is the reason why the world exists, you know. Anger is the motivating emotion. Something is not correct, I don't accept it, I am going to change it, I want to change it. And what is that which motivates you to go out and change it? Is anger. So, the aim is to productively or usefully use this anger. Allow it to flow out in a way that helps the community. And similarly with sadness, you know, I feel extremely sad and then depressed and I sit alone and lethargic at home, okay. But when I bring this awareness into my sadness, then it motivates me to go out and bond with somebody who is sharing similar sadness, and a bond develops. Out of tragedy, deep bonds develop. So sadness has got a purpose, no? To create human bonds. And shame this way has got a deeper purpose. With whom will you share your deepest shame? With somebody with whom you have bonded to still further bond deeper. Similarly with fear, fear is the bodyguard of our life. You don't fear your bodyguard, no? You take your fear along with you and leap out into your life. How to transform this fear into something that helps you leap and still protects you during the leap so that you land properly. How not to fear fear. Fear is okay. So this is what gives you a different view. For example, I have given this analogy, you know, the five different minds I talk about. The limbic mind is the body mind that controls the body. That is the ground floor. And the emotional mind, the individual emotion, is the first floor. And the thinking mind, the logical, analytical mind, is the second floor. The intuitive mind is the third floor. And the aware mind is the fourth floor. So when you go up to the fourth floor and from there look down, you know, you get a larger view, a bigger view. And you can use the whole of you in a different way towards growth in wisdom and maturity. So this is it is easy, we are born with it. I am just going to connect you inside and you are going to learn and come out of it. I will help you, guide you, point the way, that's all. Not teaching. If there's something that is to be taught, then 2.5 hours, no, 2.5 years also will not be enough.
Yeah. Awesome. You know, I'm thinking about how different this conversation is versus like when we think about emotions, or when we think about how or the role of like anger or any of these emotions that you were talking about, that we tend to locate it inside ourselves and say something is wrong with me and I need to fix it. And what I hear you say is that that it's not about fixing, that it's about accessing what you are feeling, and how that this is a response, or this is there is a sort of need that can be accessed that allows for us to connect with the communities that we are part of. That it appears like stepping into our hearts is this opening to step away also from the ways we like police ourselves. And it's almost this invitation to see ourselves as part of the fabric of nature.
So emotional awareness, when you look at this from the aware mind, you will see that emotional awareness is something different. How do you know that you are angry, for example? Okay, because you are having angry thoughts, or because you are having a blood rush, reddening face, heart is beating faster. Okay, so the limbic mind, the sensations, the blood rush, the heartbeat faster, the sweat. This is the limbic mind telling you that the anger emotion is there. And the thoughts, the angry thoughts, I want to beat that fellow. So these thoughts are the limbic, logical mind telling you that the emotion of anger is there. So these are reflections. Okay, there is a sandwich of the three minds there. At the lower is the limbic mind, then the emotional mind, and then the logical mind. And the emotional mind is a sandwich in between this. And when the emotion happens, it reflects in the body, in the limbic mind, and it reflects in the thinking mind as thoughts. So we are looking at the reflections and coming to the conclusion. We are not looking at the emotion itself, because we lost touch with how to feel an emotion as a feeling alone and see it different from the thoughts it generated and the body sensations it generated. How can you do that? Oh, it's a new skill. How to learn it? No, it's not a new skill. You were born with it. But why did you lose it? Because of being stuck in the thinking mind all the time. We are always living in our mind. We are not living in our body. We are not living in our awareness. We are living in the thoughts. All the time. Mental monologue going on in the mind. The voice of others in the mind telling me what not to do all the time. A dialogue which I carry on in my mind with some imaginary person in my mind. Memories of my past. Worries about my future. Then my work, thinking, calculating, computing, or reading something, studying, listening to something, listening to podcasts or something, or looking at something, a TV show or a program. The mind is busy all the time. And then from this mind you look at the emotions. And it has become a habitual tendency, and now we forgot how to switch off this mind. How to have a quiet mind. When you have a quiet mind, you naturally raise up to the 4th floor. You don't have to do anything. And then you can have an awareness from there. Awareness of all that is here right now. And that awareness clearly there, if you verbalize during that process, you will switch back to the 2nd floor. No need to verbalize. No, if you close your eyes and look at what's happening, no need to verbalize. No? It is said that one view at a painting is equal to 1,000 words. No, but writing that 1,000 words is going to take a couple of hours, and one view at the painting is going to take just a moment. So that's the looking from the aware mind. There are no words there. There is no communication there. There's just awareness. You're not doing anything to be aware. You are already awareness. Awareness is what is you. Awareness is the aliveness in you. You are alive because you are aware. To be aware is to live. Whereas to pay attention, to concentrate, to learn, to study, to notice, all these things take the thinking mind again. It's a doing, you need to do something. But when you stop doing, you are aware. You cannot be without being aware, unless you are dead, of course. So you just need to quieten and raise up to the awareness and then look at that emotion in the emotional mind. And then you can feel the emotions separate from the sandwich. It becomes easier to deal with it.
What you were saying about how we've been sort of trained into this habit of giving more precedence to our thoughts, that like we live in a culture that prefers that over anything else. Like there is no training in what it means to access anything else other than the thinking mind. And oftentimes the only way to sort of, I mean that's the agenda of the context that we live in as well, right? To live in our thinking minds and to be able to sort of quote unquote fix everything that shows up. And it sounds like this conversation and the possibility of the workshop is to offer another way of being that is often at, I mean, it's almost at this, it's antithetical to the kinds of ways that we are typically trained into.
Correct.
Yeah.
So when you start coming into awareness of the emotions, there's something amazing that comes up, Like more than 80% of the emotions that we feel are not ours at all. Emotion is an energy vibration. It's an energy vibration in the energy field around us. And so it's a field around us, somebody else's energy vibration will also merge with it and make our emotions vibrate, and we will feel that emotion as if it is ours. When you are aware of the emotion from the emotional mind, you will know that this is not my emotion. But when you are aware of the emotions as a reflection in thoughts and in body sensation, it looks the same. So you will come to know that 80% of the emotions that I have been feeling all my life, which caused the roller coaster effect in my life, I have been running unnecessarily all my life. And then it was not even my own emotions. I don't need to deal with this. And there are two ways to deal with emotions. You will learn this in the experiential part. For the emotions that is not your own, simply disown it and let it go away. But for the emotions that are your own, the remaining 20%, disowning it is like running away, putting it under the carpet. It will never go away. My own emotions, I need to own it. I need to heal it and address it, apply it, use it to take me towards my growth, my purpose in life. They are like my limbs, they are part of me. They will never go away from me. But 80% of emotions, I can just let go, not own it. Disown it and let go. So this is a crucial difference, We disown all emotion. No, I don't want to be angry at all. I want to be like Dalai Lama. And so you cover up, disown your anger and cover it up. And it festers from inside. It comes out as disease. When the emotion is suppressed, it goes to the limbic mind and it goes to the body. Comes out as lifestyle diseases.
Okay, awesome. there were other questions that I wanted to ask, but I really liked the conversation and where we're at right now. Perhaps one last question I wanted to ask was, from learning energy psychology from you, and being able to integrate it in my own work, with myself, and in the work that I do with people, I've come to see how much it is connected to, invoking the fact that we are part of like Earth and the space around us. And I think that's, it really sort of speaks to thinking about, how nature, the way that nature heals, the way that nature sort of thrives and grows, and that we are also part of that fabric. And this, what I've learned from you has also has allowed me to access that part where I can just be able to trust that we are all part of that, what you were saying, that one. And I was just wondering, I know that in the program we talk about how we will connect to the earth and the healing power of earth, and sort of the natural connection that we have. And you speak of creative visualization to do that. So I was wondering if you have anything to say about just this sort of connection and how we might be able to access that in the course. And
so when you look at the energy world from the clairvoyant perception of energy, then you see the electromagnetic energy of the earth, from the core of the earth that comes out, and that's the earth energy. In energy psychology we call it earth energy. And then there is a layer of energy covering the earth above the upper atmosphere, a grid of energy. So this also protects the earth, this is what enabled life form to begin on earth billions of years ago. Life protecting, life healing energy. And then there is the energy of the cosmos, the primordial, the cosmic energy. So there are three kinds of energies. In my growth into this energy psychology, the awareness, I intuitively got connected to this. Everybody can intuitively get connected to it by just being with a quiet mind, not being distracted with all those things I said that goes on in the mind all the time. It happens automatically. But a creative visualization of imagining and visualizing this energy is flowing, I will guide you into that with a guided meditation, and then that will make it easier to start connecting, sensing and connecting. We are already connected. A baby is already connected all the time. That's why a baby always has radiance around it. When you hold a baby, you start smiling. You become so joyful. So we are just removing the dirt that has been covering and not allowing us to get connected, and the connection happens automatically. You don't have to do anything. You need to not do something to get connected. That's all.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. Cool. Alrighty. Thank you so much for this conversation. I'm going to publish this video, and then perhaps also see if people have more questions about our workshop. But this workshop is going to be on, do you remember the date?
13th November.
13th November. Yeah, from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. We're going to be running it hybrid, so there's going to be, we're going to have the workshop is going to be in person at POS in Begumpet in our office, as well as we'll run it online as well. It'll be nice to see you all there. Thank you so much.
Please enroll and join this workshop.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Cool.